You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. All right, Jardin Gilbert hanging out with us in studio. LSU safety. Man, I don't know if you heard, but LSU's defense last year didn't have the best year. I was being a little tongue-in-cheek there. They were pretty bad last year. And they needed an overhaul. I know you're a big part of that, but so are the coaches that came in. So I'd love to talk a little bit about how spring went. What were your impressions going through spring ball with Corey, but also with Jake Olson there, the safeties coach?
What the coaches did a good job of setting a standard that we abide by every and each day. With Coach Olson, with Coach Blake, with Coach Corey, they are making it known that we weren't the best last year. So whatever we do, whether it's practice, off the field, homework, meetings, that we're gonna take a different approach and a different mindset to it.
How is it? One of the things that we, like media or fans, talk a lot about is when there's coaching changes or a new coordinator or something, there's always like a transition because you have to learn all these different defenses, terminology, whatever. Like for you, having been at a different school, having a couple different DCs, and now coming to LSU and it's Blake Baker's defense, is that a challenge, like learning new terminology or new schemes? Like, is that a real thing?
It just depends on who you are. Like me personally, I take a different approach to it. I think that is what separates me. Everything is kind of the same. It's just different words to it. Mm-hmm. That's all it is.
So how easy was it, or was it easy for you this spring to pick up on everything?
Yeah, it was pretty easy. Obviously learning new things. Every coach is different, so they're gonna add their own spice to it. So that spice is what challenged me to make sure that I perfect it.
So give me an example of like what would be something different that they asked you to do at A&M than what you had to do this spring at LSU. Like what's an example?
For starters, at A&M, I was mainly in the post. Now I'm kind of strong safety and playing more in the box.
Okay. So it means so when you say in the post, you're talking about being free, you're like the last line of defense.
Correct.
Right. So now they're letting you play a little closer to the line. Do you like doing that?
Yeah, most definitely.
Why?
I like being able to, because I like hitting. I like to tackle. I like to be involved in whatever the offense scheme is.
When one of the things that I was talking about last week, we were talking about you because there was a piece up, I think, at ESPN about impact transfers, and they mentioned you, and I agreed with it. And I went back and I looked at Blake Baker's defense the last 2 years at Missouri when he was the DC there, and each year the two leading tacklers on his defense, both years, were safeties. And so, I didn't watch every game Missouri played, but it stands to reason, okay, he's going to feature safeties and get them involved. Like, what does the defense do to help involve? Why is the safety position so important in Blake Baker's defense? Is probably the way to ask it.
Oh, because we have to be the quarterback of the defense. He consistently says that. Like, we have to understand the call, why we're calling it, and we have to be able to put everybody in line to be able to perfect and to complete the scheme of whatever he's trying to run.
A lot of times, is that the job of a linebacker, or do safeties normally do that?
It's to make the call. The linebackers, it depends on who's the coach of the defense.
Yeah. So sometimes, it could vary. So essentially, to say for Blake Baker, it's a big deal. Like the safety spot's a big deal. So is it odd because he's a linebacker coach, right? Like he's a linebacker coach, you would think he would feature and focus on linebackers, but clearly safety is such an important position in this defense.
Nah, I'll say it's both. He put a lot of pressure on the linebackers as well to make sure that everybody's straight, make sure the front is called right, and also the safeties do the same.
Who was going through spring, and obviously, it's just a few weeks worth of practices, but who are some guys on that defense, you being a veteran player, who are some guys, maybe young guys, that stood out to you that you thought did really well?
Oh, definitely P.J. Washington.
Yeah.
And Ashton Stamp. Yep.
So Woodland from the freshman from.
Oh, Woodland, yeah, P.J. Woodland.
From freshman from New Orleans. Or is he from Mississippi?
No,
Woodland's from Mississippi. From Mississippi. There's two freshmen. Woodland's from Mississippi, and then Stamps. What was so impressive about PJ?
I'll probably have to say first off, what I recently just said, I like his mindset. If he get a ball caught on him, he ready for the next play. It's not any pouting or anything to set him back from the next play. And also, he's a competitor. He want to go against the best of the best. He want to go against Karen. He want to go against Chris. He want to go against the best of the best.
Yeah. What about Sage Ryan? As long as he's been here, he's moved around a bunch. He was a nickel. He was playing boundary corner last year. It looks like now, from what little we got to see of spring, they were playing him back there at safety. How did that go with playing and lining up there with the ones with Sage?
Yeah, as we know, Sage was one of the best recruits out of high school.
Did you play against him?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
He lucky though.
I love it. That's so good.
We joke about that all the time.
Yeah.
Sage being back there, he's a ball player, and you see that every practice.
Yeah. Offensively, what's it like trying to guard those receivers?
They iron sharpen iron. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Kyron was awesome this spring. I mean, everything that they let us see, he was just like, a lot of people ask us, you go do interviews on other stations, like, how are you going to replace 2 first-round draft picks? I'm like, I don't know, man. If you saw number 2 in the spring, he looks like he's pretty ready. Who else among the receivers really do you think stood out in the spring?
Just about all of them, but for sure, Chris Hilton.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Chris's speed's awesome.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. What about the transfers that came in?
And CJ. CJ Dillon definitely took and made it known that he's ready to play.
Tell us a little bit about CJ and about Xavion Thomas as well, because those are both guys transferring in who we haven't gotten to see. Tell us a little bit about their games.
Day one, they were ready to compete. They were ready to They were ready to compete for the starting spot. So they came catching jugs day in, day out.
What about Garrett at quarterback? What stood out about him getting to watch him work this spring?
His confidence. Him knowing that he got some big shoes to fill, and he's stepping up to the plate.
Yeah.
Each and every day.
What would you say was most impressive aside from the confidence, like physically, with Garrett's game, that sometimes like you'd see him make a throw or something, you look and go, oh man. Like what part of his game do you think is most impressive?
He's smart. So he's smart. He understands the different schemes that the defense be in. So to be able to make a pass whenever it needs to be in the right spot, that as a vet playing in the SEC, like that's what you need to be able to win games. Yeah.
What do you think it'll feel like getting to run through the tunnel at Tiger Stadium in a now you did it in spring, but in practice, what do you think it's gonna be like?
I can't even wait. I don't even think I'm gonna have words to describe it.
So first game at home will be Nichols. The first SEC game at home will be Ole Miss. Did I miss it? Am I missing one? It's gonna be Ole Miss so it's Nichols, then at South Carolina, then home against UCLA. Then who am I missing?
It is Ole Miss.
Yeah, the first SEC home game is Ole Miss. Yeah. So, well, that's gonna be a big game, man.
Most definitely.
Which game do you have circled the most that you're like you can't wait for it?
October 26th.
A&M.
A&M.
So it's got 1 minute. So it's to go against your former, not to play Bama in Tiger Stadium, a big game against Ole Miss. It's your former team.
Most definitely.
Are you going to say this year what you told your guys in 2022, like there's no way we're losing this game?
So that's the difference between here and there. I don't have to tell my teammates that. They already know.
They know. It's a pleasure to have you in studio, man. Welcome back home. I know there's a lot of people excited to watch you play in the purple and gold this fall, man. We'll keep in touch, and we appreciate you for coming in here today, man.
No, thank you.
That's our pleasure. Jardin Gilbert, LSU safety, will be playing his 4th season of college football back stone's throw from where he prepped over at U High, the 2nd greatest high school in Baton Rouge. Got him. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.